Chosen one. If you have ever noticed the moment you decide to take your life seriously, resistance increases. The moment you commit to discipline, temptation intensifies. The moment you focus on your purpose, distractions multiply. The moment you start building something meaningful, unexpected setbacks appear. It's almost as if something is reacting to your decision to grow. You try to move forward, and stagnation shows up. You try to stay focused, and confusion creeps in. You try to build momentum, and something pulls at your weakness. You try to rise, and suddenly, pressure surrounds you. Chosen one. What if the struggle isn't random? What if the pattern you've been experiencing has meaning? Because here's the truth. Not everyone faces strategic resistance, and not every battle is ordinary. In this video, I'm going to explain why these battles are happening to you specifically. I'm going to show you what they reveal about your calling. And most importantly, you're going to learn exactly how to overcome them, step by step. You will understand what's been fighting you, and what to do starting today. Before we go deeper, like this video, and subscribe if you know you're called to more. This channel is for the chosen ones, those who refuse to stay stuck and are ready to rise with clarity. Stay with me. By the end of this message, you won't just understand the battle. You'll understand why it had to come and how to win it. The battle of lust. Chosen one. One of the first signs that the enemy already knows who you are is the battle of lust. And I'm not just talking about desire. I'm talking about the kind of temptation that shows up at strange times. The kind that intensifies when you start getting serious about your purpose. The kind that seems to attack right when you feel like you're growing. Have you noticed that? You decide to pray more. Temptation increases. You decide to discipline yourself. Old urges resurface. You start building momentum. And suddenly, there's pressure in your private life. That is not random. Because lust is not just about making you fall. It's about making you feel unworthy after you fall. The real weapon is not the act, it's the shame. The enemy knows that if he can make a chosen one feel dirty, disqualified, and spiritually fake, you will pull back on your own. You'll stop praying boldly. You'll hesitate to step into opportunities. You'll feel like you don't deserve what God is preparing for you. And once you start feeling like you don't deserve it, you subconsciously sabotage it. Look at what happened in Genesis. The moment Adam and Eve sinned, they hid. Before that, they walked with God freely. After that, shame entered and hiding followed. Nothing about God changed, but their perception changed. Their confidence changed. That's what lust does. It alters how you see yourself. And the Bible says in 1 John 3 verse 21, if our heart does not condemn us, we have confidence before God. Think about that. Confidence before God. Now imagine the opposite. When your heart condemns you, confidence disappears. And when confidence disappears, boldness and destiny disappears with it. That is why this battle comes to chosen ones. Because your confidence is dangerous to the enemy. Look at Samson in Judges 16. He was anointed, set apart, empowered. But the attack didn't start with his strength. It started with his weakness. Repeated compromise slowly weakened his discernment until he didn't even realize when the presence of God had lifted. Lust clouds clarity. It drains discipline. It weakens spiritual sensitivity. And if you're called, clarity is everything. But here's what you must understand. The presence of the battle does not mean you are not chosen. It may actually confirm that you are. The enemy attacks what carries weight. Now let me tell you how you overcome it. First, you refuse to run from God when you stumble. You run toward him. Shame says, hide. Conviction says, return. The quicker you return, the less power condemnation has over your mind. Second, you get serious about your environment. Lust thrives in secrecy, idleness, and easy access. If you keep feeding the same inputs, you'll keep fighting the same cycles. Sometimes spiritual victory looks like practical boundaries. Joseph didn't debate temptation. He ran from it. And third, you remember who you are. You are not a hypocrite trying to be holy. You are a chosen one in process. Growth is not perfection. It is direction. And every time you get back up quickly, you weaken the hold shame tries to build. Chosen one. If this battle has been intense in your life, don't just see the struggle. See the strategy. The enemy would not fight this hard to corrupt your purity if your future did not require power. Win this battle internally, and you step into your next level with confidence restored. And if he cannot corrupt you, he will try to scatter you. Let's talk about the second battle, the battle of distraction. Chosen one. There is a specific frustration that only people with purpose understand. It's when you feel the call on your life. You can sense it. You think about it constantly. You know there is something you're supposed to be building, starting, finishing, becoming. Your purpose almost feels like it's calling your name. You feel restless when you're not working on it. You feel bothered when you delay it. You know you're meant to move. But the moment you decide, today I'm going to focus, something strange happens. Suddenly you're tired. Suddenly your phone feels heavier in your hand. Suddenly one short scroll turns into hours on reels. One video becomes 20. One episode becomes a season. One quick check of messages becomes endless conversations. And at the end of the day, you've been busy, but you haven't built anything. That is the battle of distraction. It doesn't attack your morality. It attacks your momentum. And this is how you know the enemy sees your potential, because distraction intensifies when clarity increases. The clearer your calling becomes, the louder the noise gets. You sit down to write, your phone lights up. You sit down to plan. You feel the urge to just relax first. You start working, and suddenly you remember 10 other random things to do. Distraction is strategic. It scatters your energy, so your power never concentrates long enough to produce results. Look at what happened in Nehemiah 6. Nehemiah was rebuilding the wall, a divine assignment. But his enemies kept sending messages saying, "Come down and meet with us." Over and over again. Notice the strategy. They couldn't stop the wall directly, so they tried to pull the builder away from it. Come down. That's what distraction says to you. Come down from the discipline. Come down from the focus. Come down from the work. And if Nehemiah had gone down even once, momentum could have been broken. Or look at Samson again in Judges. Before his strength was taken, his attention was captured. His focus shifted from assignment to appetite. And once focus shifted, vulnerability increased. Chosen one. Distraction is dangerous because it feels harmless. Watching movies isn't evil. Scrolling isn't evil. Talking isn't evil. But when harmless things consistently pull you away from what you are called to do, they become weapons. The enemy knows something. If you stay focused for 6 months, your life will change. So he doesn't fight you with destruction. He fights you with delay. And delay produces doubt. You start asking yourself, why am I not further? But the real question is, where has my time been going? Now here's how you overcome this battle. You don't defeat distraction with motivation. You defeat it with structure. Nehemiah said, "I am doing a great work, and I cannot come down." That wasn't just confidence, it was decision. He had already settled what mattered most. You must do the same. Decide what your assignment is in this season and treat it as non-negotiable. Create focused blocks of time where your phone is out of reach. Not face down, out of reach. Replace endless scrolling with intentional rest. Rest is different from escape. Pray before you plan your day. Ask God to order your steps. Even Jesus, in Mark 1 verse 35, withdrew early in the morning to pray before the demands of people began pulling at him. If he guarded his focus, you must guard yours. And understand this. Discipline is a spiritual weapon. Every time you choose purpose over impulse, you weaken distraction's grip. Every time you close the app and open your assignment, you build authority over your attention. Chosen one. If distraction has been unusually heavy in your life, it may be because your next level requires sustained focus. The enemy cannot stop what you build if you refuse to come down. And once you master your focus, you become dangerous. Now, if he cannot corrupt you, and he cannot scatter you, the next battle becomes even more personal. The battle of discouragement from people. Chosen one. This battle cuts deeper than distraction, because this one involves people. There is something that happens when you begin to take your calling seriously. When you start speaking differently, thinking differently, moving differently. When you stop settling. When you start believing that your life has weight. The resistance doesn't always come from strangers. Sometimes it comes from the people closest to you. Suddenly, you're doing too much. You are being unrealistic. You've changed. You are too spiritual. You are dreaming too big. And if you're not careful, their voices become louder than your conviction. This is the battle of discouragement. The enemy understands something very powerful. If he can't stop your calling internally, he will try to weaken it externally. He will use familiar voices to plant unfamiliar doubt, because doubt sounds stronger when it comes from someone you trust. Look at David in 1 Samuel 17. Before he ever faced Goliath, he faced his own brother's criticism. Eliab accused him of pride. He questioned his motives. He tried to reduce him. And notice the timing. This happened right before David stepped into one of the biggest moments of his destiny. Discouragement often shows up at the edge of breakthrough. Or think about Joseph in Genesis. He shared a dream, and instead of support, he received jealousy and betrayal. The very people who should have celebrated him resented him. When you are chosen, your vision will not always be understood. And here's why this battle is so strategic. Words shape confidence, and confidence shapes action. If people can make you question yourself long enough, you will shrink. You will play small. You will delay what you're supposed to build. The enemy doesn't need everyone against you. He just needs the right voice at the wrong time. And sometimes discouragement doesn't even sound aggressive. It sounds protective. Be realistic. Don't aim so high. Just be normal. But you were never called to be average. Now listen carefully. Not everyone who discourages you is evil. Some are speaking from their own fear. Some are projecting their limitations onto you. Some cannot see what you see because they were not shown what you were shown. Jesus himself faced this in Mark 6. When he returned to his hometown, the people who knew him said, "Is this not the carpenter?" Their familiarity blinded them to his anointing. Familiarity breeds limitation in the minds of others. So how do you overcome this battle? First, you guard your ears. Not by isolating yourself from everyone, but by being selective about whose opinion carries weight. Everyone can have an opinion. Not everyone gets access to your confidence. Second, you anchor yourself in what God told you. If your calling is built on people's validation, it will collapse when their approval disappears. Spend time in prayer until your conviction becomes stronger than their criticism. David didn't argue with Eliab. He turned away and kept moving toward Goliath. Sometimes maturity is refusing to debate your destiny. And third, you let results speak. Stay consistent. Stay disciplined. Stay obedient. Over time, fruit silences doubt. Chosen one, if you have been feeling unusually misunderstood, unusually criticized, unusually doubted, do not assume you are off track. Discouragement often confirms direction. The enemy would not try so hard to shrink you if your expansion was not near. And if he cannot corrupt you, if he cannot distract you, if he cannot discourage you, then the battle escalates. Final battle, the attack on your life. Chosen one, when the enemy realizes he cannot corrupt you with lust, he cannot scatter you with distraction, he cannot silence you through discouragement, the battle escalates. It becomes an attack on your life itself. And I need to speak carefully here. I'm not only talking about physical danger. I'm talking about seasons where it feels like everything is pressing against your existence. Heavy warfare, unusual accidents, intense oppression, waves of fear, exhaustion that feels deeper than normal. Moments where it feels like the pressure is trying to take you out completely. Have you ever wondered why the intensity sometimes feels disproportionate? Why the attack feels bigger than the situation? That's not random. Because when purpose carries generational impact, resistance becomes aggressive. Look at Moses in Exodus 1-2. Before he could deliver Israel, there was a decree to kill Hebrew boys. The enemy tried to end his life before his assignment began. Look at David in 1 Samuel 19. After he was anointed, Saul didn't just criticize him. He tried to kill him repeatedly. Why? Because David carried the future throne. Look at Jesus in Matthew 2. As a child, there was already a plan to destroy him. The attack on his life was proof of the magnitude of his mission. Chosen one, sometimes the intensity of the battle is a revelation of the weight of your calling. The enemy does not overreact to something small. If you have survived things that should have broken you, if you have walked away from situations that could have ended differently, if you have endured pressure that felt unbearable but you're still standing, that is not luck. That is preservation. But here is the key. This battle is not just physical. It's also mental. The enemy will try to flood your mind with fear, with hopelessness, with exhaustion, with thoughts that whisper, "It's too much." Because if he cannot remove you physically, he will try to drain you internally. Elijah experienced this in 1 Kings 19. Right after a massive victory, he faced intense pressure and emotional exhaustion. The threat alone made him want to run. Notice the pattern: breakthrough followed by heavy attack. That is how this battle works. Now how do you overcome it? You strengthen your spirit intentionally. You do not fight this level of battle casually. You stay rooted in prayer even when you don't feel like it. You surround yourself with godly counsel. You refuse isolation. You guard your mind from spiraling thoughts. You speak life even when emotions feel heavy. And most importantly, you remember this. If God preserved you through previous battles, He has not brought you this far to abandon you now. Moses survived. David survived. Jesus fulfilled his mission. And you are still here. Chosen one, the fact that you are alive, still breathing, still pushing, still believing, is evidence that the enemy's attempts have failed. An attack on your life is often confirmation that your life carries impact. You are not surviving by accident. You are being preserved on purpose. And when you understand that, fear loses its grip. Stand firm. Stay anchored. Protect your peace. Guard your mind. Because the one who has been keeping you is not finished with you yet.